Will you please stand and prepare for our national anthem? Tonight it will be performed by seniors Kylie Lutz and Chloe Griff.
Oh, say, can you sing by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thanks. All right, you can be seated. So, getting us started tonight will be Student Council Member Randall Gossin.
Welcome Cascade families, friends, acquaintances, and graduates to Cascade Senior High School's 2021 graduation ceremony. I don't think any of us ever thought this is how we'd be spending graduation, unless of course you were a doomsday prepper, in which case give yourself a pat on the back. We gather here today as a sign of our completion through these unique times which could have never been done without the help of all our teachers and parents over the last few years, and especially the teachers over this past year. Let's give them a round of applause. It feels not so long ago that we were all at freshman orientation listening to seniors tell us, it goes by so fast, do everything you possibly can and to branch out and try new things. Telling ourselves, they don't know what they're talking about. We have plenty of time. We left that day feeling exhilarated and pumped to finally make it to high school so we could graduate here. And here we are now wishing we could switch places with them to go back and have one more day of freshman year, listening to Miss Poppin speak fluent Spanish and answering C to every question she asks. During this past year, we have had to adapt to many changes to our way of life in COVID. This has led to many aspects of our modern society being turned on its feet as the virus spread throughout the globe. During this time, though, people learned to adapt to new challenges that would come to be faced over the next year and a half. Adaptation isn't something that is strictly related to COVID, though. It can be applied to all aspects of life and should be something we strive for as we begin our new life beyond high school. To be able to adapt to any situation life will toss at us is probably one of the best skills we as graduates can take with us into the world. It is not just a good quality to have as a person, but will come in handy when a problem arises in our future lives. Another aspect we have seen during COVID is the resiliency of people to come back from everything that has happened to them to try and reclaim a sense of normalcy in all this strife, whether it be directly related to COVID or another difficult event that took place in their life. The ability to be resilient in the face of fortune is something that we will all need to apply to ourselves daily as we take the next step forward into college, into the world, and into our futures. It will help us to be able to bounce back to the curveballs life will toss our way in the years to come. Resilience in our friendships is one of the best things that will help us to stay connected and feel appreciated, no matter the distance between us. While my popularity will end today in my last moment with everyone, the connections I have made with most, if not all of you, continue to shape for the better and throughout my future endeavors. While I may not have had the same friend group for most of high school, the friends I have had will continue to leave an impact in my life through the memories and advice they've given me along the way. And as for the friends I have now, even if we argue over stupid things a lot, like whether the correct time to take a shower is in the morning, or whether pineapple truly does belong on pizza, I know they do love and appreciate me. The friendships we have right now, and will make later in life, are everything that will help us to be resilient in the real world, where life doesn't play fair. Our friends and family will know when to push us to be our best, to do our best, even if it's hard for us to do so. They'll continue to be the moonlight to comfort us in our darkest times of despair, and be the rays of sunshine that will brighten our mood through their appreciation of our accomplishments. Building deep connections with friends and family, to continue to pursue it and don't let it die. Some of us have any clue what our family is now one of the best things we can do to set ourselves up for success. Which shows us that we really are the people we spend time with because they have such a large impact over us. Friends and family are there to support us along the way as we take steps in the world. Friends will always do their best to help us even at times when we push them away, which is the time we need them most. They'll be there to help us overcome life's challenges and struggles we're all bound to face. While there is no Quizlet Dark Notes for an easy life, I know because I tried and couldn't find any. Who we want to be and what a meaningful life will be to us. And each one of us will have our own bumpy road with ups and downs, and that's okay. We have to keep waddling away, waddle till the very next day. We will all have a purpose, and maybe some of us know what that purpose is, and it's great for you to continue to explore and to build on your passion. Continue to develop and pursue it, and don't let it die. Some of us may not have any clue what the purpose is, or maybe you're somewhere in between. Just keep trying and exploring, asking yourself, what do you need to do with your life? Finding your purpose in life isn't going to be an easy task, however, and definitely won't be as easy as it will be. It will least expect it, and you'll know this is what I want to do with my life. Is to adapt and be resilient to what life tosses at us. Don't let the world change you for the worse. Change the world for the better by being yourself. And I'll end my speech here today with one of my favorite short poems. When I was a young man, I wanted to change the world. And I found it was difficult to change the world, so I tried to change my nation. When I found I couldn't change the nation, I began to focus on my town. I couldn't change a town, and as an older man, I tried to change my family. Now, as an old man, I realized the only thing I can change is myself. And suddenly I realized that if long ago I had changed myself, I could have made an impact on my family. My family and I could have made an impact on our town, and their impact could have made an impact on the world. And I indeed could have changed the world.
Thanks, Randall. So as a principal, I get to make a few remarks every year to each graduating class, and just for some perspective, I've shared a word or two at nearly 30 graduations, which is a lot. However, today I find myself in really unfamiliar territory. You know, guys, just like this will be your last day as a senior at Cascade, this will be my last year as Cascade High School's principal. And just like you, people were asking me all kinds of questions. How does it feel? And are you going to miss it? And can you believe how fast time has gone by? And of course, the one you always get, because I'm asking it, and other people I hear them asking it, what are you going to do next year? Another one I get often is, what are you going to remember most about Cascade? Which is a great query, because I have countless amazing memories of Cascade High School. A better question, however, and one I want to ask all of you, and maybe everyone here, is what do you want to be remembered for? I ask you again, what do you want to be remembered for? Another way to phrase it is, what do you want your legacy to be? Now, people often bring up the word legacy when somebody old like me is retiring. And I suppose that is fitting. It's a great time to reflect on whether our lives have had any lasting impact. But on the other hand, as graduates considering your legacy, It's not reserved for some future event, but something you can determine right now. The impact that you have on your future education, your family, your career, your community, and yes, even your world, begins with the choices you make as soon as you get up from that chair you're sitting in. We all begin to determine our legacy by the choices we make every day. Now, you may reflect on your legacy 20 or 30 years from now, but you set the course of it today. Let's use this place, Cascade High School, as an example. You know, 15 years ago, guys, even before you were even in school, a group of motivated administrators and teachers and families and students and community members made a commitment. And many of those people are here right now. While we had a good school, we wanted to strive for a great school. We wanted Cascade to shine brighter academically, athletically, and to be known regionally. We wanted it to be a place where families would even move to, or at the very least transfer their kids to. Every decision we made was to establish a legacy of excellence. And of course we made mistakes along the way. You will too. But we never lost sight of the legacy we wanted to leave to you sitting here these 15 years later. We did not let our mistakes stop us. We did not allow our critics to dissuade us. We did not allow hardships to defeat us. In fact, we did not allow COVID to even sideline us. For we had determined years ago that our legacy is too valuable to leave to chance and circumstance. And while not perfect, we are well on our way to accomplishing that goal. And we still have many great people here that will continue this amazing work at Cascade High School in the years ahead. But you guys, the graduates of 2021, have that exact same opportunity to begin shaping your legacy this very night. What will I stand for? What will I strive for? How can I have the greatest impact? How will I respond when I fail? How will I stay humble when I succeed? Who can I get to help me? And who can I help? These are all questions we could and should be asking, and I know you will. Because proudly I have seen many of you already asking these types of questions over the last 4 years. So from my vantage point, based on what I have witnessed, your legacy is secure, and I'm excited to watch you walk it out in the years ahead, even if it is as an old retired guy. Thanks for making my last year as principal at Cascade High School an incredible one. And as we transition together, whatever the future holds for us, I know it'll be amazing. Thank you, guys. Now, please welcome Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Darren Drill.
Good evening, everybody, and want to say thank you, first and foremost, to all you graduates. To survive what we have gone through for the last 15, 16 months is truly amazing. Add that to a regular high school journey, well, let's just say that class of 2021 is a pretty special one, no matter what. We'd like to also take a moment to thank the parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, friends, people that maybe you couch surfed with over a weekend or a long week to see if you could make it through school. For all the things that those folks have done, we really want to say thank you to you. It's those kinds of people in a community like this that makes a difference. It's those kind of people in a community like this that make sure that the people sitting here tonight graduate and move on to successful parts of their lives. We really appreciate that you might have stayed up late and helped with homework, or maybe did a little homework yourself to help make things get done. We really appreciate you got up early to make lunch, or to go early to chaperone somewhere to go, like to the zoo or to the beach. We really appreciate all the time you did dropping kids off late for dances or games. These are the things that change how communities behave and act and allow students like the ones here to have great experiences. We appreciate the money you gave, the time you gave, and the issues that you talked about in those tough moments to make sure that these students walked across the stage. Thank you so much for taking the time to do it. So graduates, you take a minute and please thank your family and friends around here for doing what they did for you. Let's give them a hand. We'd also like to take a moment to say thank you to the entire staff here at Cascade. Cascade High School, if you don't know it or not, is one of the top 20 high schools in the state of Oregon out of over 280 high schools that graduate 93 to 94% of the entire graduates starting in 9th grade all the way through 12th grade. It's done by happenstance. It's done by sheer hard work. And the staff and faculty that are sitting behind the graduates today and the staff and faculty that are sitting in the audience make that difference. Staff and faculty, will you please stand and be recognized for your great, wonderful work, for all the things that you've done for these students. Cascade High School is in the top 20, as I said, but 80 to 85% of our graduates go on to a four-year college, community college, they join the armed forces, or they end up in a technical or trade program. For the few that do not, they go right to work. We see very few kids just not go anywhere. They move on. And it's because of our community, it's because of this school that makes that kind of thing happen. We'd also like to get a chance to thank the great leadership team at the high school. You already heard from Principal Matt Thatcher. By the way, it is almost unreal to hear that Matt Thatcher spent 14 years at Cascade High School as the high school principal. And this last year, he was honored by the state of Oregon as the High School Principal of the Year. Thank you, Matt, for doing what you've done. I'd like to thank Tyler Woodrall as the Vice Principal, Tim Ganfield as the Athletic Director, and Lisa Iverson as an Assistant Principal, the Director of Activities, Corinne Louie, and the Executive Assistant, Tina Christensen. Without these folks, Cascade High School just wouldn't run the way that it's run. Thank you so much. Mr. Thatcher mentioned that he's retiring, and it is a sad day for Cascade because he has been one of the best principals. I ought to know I was the principal before him, and he's far surpassed what we tried to accomplish way back in the day. 94% graduation rate, 97% of our freshmen are on track when they finish their freshman year to move on. We have new career and technical education programs. We've won state championships, and we've had individual state champions in this class alone. But most of all, Mr. Thatcher, I think for most students would say he was respected by the students here and felt like he was a really good guy to be able to talk with and visit with. So Matt, thank you very much for what you've done for these students for all these years at Cascade. Now, for you guys as graduates, I got to believe and I can honestly say that your journey through high school has been difficult. I notice is on the program it says it's the 71st year graduating class of Cascade. I can honestly say that your graduating class has probably had the most difficult journey of all those 71 years. It started out smoothly. We moved into a what the heck is going to happen last spring, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, things that were very taken for granted by graduating seniors suddenly were not yours to have. Essentially, it sucked. And I just have no better word to use than that. Sometimes you were in school, sometimes you were on a computer, part of the day you were here, part of the day you weren't, and finally in the last 3 months, for most of the day, you got to be here. And through all of that, you figured out a way to get through it. A giant worldwide rotten tomato was thrown right in your face, and somehow, some way, you figured it out. You figured out with friends and family, with people around you to say, no, I will graduate from high school. There will be a way to make this happen, and you will sit on this field on this day to graduate from Cascade. That accomplishment is amazing. That accomplishment is very, very difficult. So please, when you move forward, lean into that. Lean into being able to do and make things that you want to make for yourself, to make things on your own. Dream big and make sure that you go for those things. If a pandemic cannot stop you, then nothing should be able to stop you. Think about that for a second. That is quite an accomplishment. The other day I was trying to figure out what to say to a class of students that has seen something that the entire world hasn't seen for over 100 years. And I struggled with it until I ran across somebody told me that there was a graduate earlier this month that talked to her graduating class. And she likened what happened to you guys just like what happened to her this way. She said, you know what, my graduating year was kind of like eating those Sour Patch candies, those Sour Patch Kids. At first when you pop it in your mouth, it's really sour. It really doesn't taste that good. But over time it starts to get sweet. So while this is a bittersweet moment, think about that in those ways. And I hope that you take life in those kinds of fashions. If it starts out sour, keep working at it because it becomes sweet. You've already proved it. So please go out and work hard and make this community proud. Come back and let us know what you've done and what you've accomplished. Without the people around you, without the teachers by your side, probably wouldn't have happened. But with all of us together, look what happens right here, sitting right here today. Guys, good luck and God bless.
Thank you, Mr. Drill. The senior class has been honored with numerous awards and scholarships throughout the past 4 months. Now, while we can't take time to recognize them individually, we want to make sure and honor them. These deserving students represent literally thousands of dollars in local, state, and national awards. At this time, would any senior that has been honored with any award and scholarship please rise? Will you join me in honoring these students one last time with a rousing applause? Great job, you guys. Well deserving. I know you'll represent us well. Thanks, Sam. All right, also, obviously we do a lot of things here at Cascade, but the most important piece is our academics. And we want to take time to honor our top students, our valedictorians and salutatorians. These are students that all have above a 4.0. They have never gotten to be in high school. They have taken all our toughest classes, our AP classes, and they have all received an honors diploma. So I'd like them to come on up here when I call their name. Some of them are in different of the graduations today, so they're all not here. But I want to make sure and read off the list of names. And the ones that are in this graduation, please come on up. So our valedictorians, Ben Roth, Amelia Detweiler, Corey Kyle, Mason Rosenau, and Mason Roth, and our salutatorian, Blake Miller. Representing these top students tonight will be valedictorians Mason Roth and Amelia Detweiler.
How are we doing today?
There we go. Hello. My name is Mason Jeffrey Roth. You can forget the whole Jeffrey thing. Today I'm here to talk about high school, and I'm here to represent the valedictorians of Cascade. So first off, I'd like to give a quick thanks to some of the teachers who helped me throughout my time in high school. First off, the beautiful angel from above, Mrs. Fleener, wherever she is out there. And second, I'd like to thank Uncle Davey, or David Medlock, despite the current midlife crisis he may be in. And last but certainly one of the most influential and most pleasurable teachers to work under, Matthew Clark, despite the fact that he's not here. Still mad at him about that. I'd like to thank you all for molding me into the somewhat functional person I am leaving Cascade High School. Now, something I was really passionate about talking about was what high school means to me. I all too often hear students saying things like, when are we actually going to use this, or school is overall useless. And when I hear things like this, I can't help but disagree. School is not meant for hitting the books or being the smartest student, and I know I'm one to talk about that, but I think it's instead on learning how to make friends, build strong relationships, and most importantly, especially this year, overcoming times of hardship. Where we at? And I truly believe that without the parents, teachers, and faculty of our school and the experiences we've had in the last 4 years, the graduating class of 2021 wouldn't be where we are today. Next, I'd like to take a moment to talk about the elephant in the room. No, not Mr. Medlock. But instead the feeling that we're all feeling, and that, of course, is the fear of leaving high school. And whether you enjoyed your time in high school or not, I feel like we are all feeling a little bit of dread, at least to some degree. And what I'd like to get on to saying is that the experiences you've had up until now are not something. You have so much left to do, and overall, you have so many great things to do and great things ahead of you. And I pray that we can all achieve our dreams, and in my honest opinion, I think that we all can. And whether you had a super high GPA or a low one for that matter, or you took advanced classes or not, or you feel like you didn't have a lot of friends, or anything you're going to let hold you back, I just want you guys to know that you shouldn't let anything hold you back like that. And most importantly, I know in my heart and soul that all you are going to be the greatest new addition to society. And with all this said, I'd simply like to say just how proud I am of all of you. And I know it may not seem like it's much coming from me to you, but if you consider all the hardship and the difficulty when we went through as a class, friends, and family, I have nothing but respect and admiration for every one of you. And based on the beautiful faces I see here today, I can truly say that we're going to do great things. And I cannot thank you guys enough. Thank you. It's not the end, but it's funny. Anyway, I'd like to end it off with a little quote that took me the majority of my time writing this. And I think it's very impactful, and I'd like you to take a second to hear it. Though we may walk today, it's just the beginning, for we have many more miles to walk towards the paradise ahead. Just you guys wait. Thank you so much.
There we go. Oh, not quite. Okay. Hi, I'm Amelia. I really didn't want to make this sappy because if anyone knows me, they know that I am not a sappy person. I also knew that I couldn't get up here and make jokes. Not funny ones, at least. But I do know math. I think. One of the simplest rules of addition is the commutative property. A plus B equals B plus A. We learned that early on in elementary school, even if it wasn't called that. Soon enough, we were learning how to expand the quantity of A plus B squared during Algebra 1. This rule is a bit more complicated, and no, it's not A squared plus B squared, it's A squared plus 2AB plus B squared. But anyway, some of us decided to take calculus, where we learned even more complex things like the integral of tangent squared x, which is actually easy, but a completely new concept at first. So keep these things in mind for a minute. I'm changing topics to describe the simplicities of our childhood. Often the commutative property was all that we needed. School plus family plus friends equals friends plus family plus school. Of course, this is simplified because many of us had additional traumas and struggles, but we all viewed the world in this simplistic way. Fast forward to high school, all of us had some formula including the following. Classes, plus or minus friends, minus prom, plus stress, minus sleep, plus jobs, and so on. Growing up has added an exponent to our lives and made the simple addition a bit more complicated. On an even more complex level, the high school we have all walked circles around has its own equation, including lunch ladies, janitors, teachers, band and choir directors, office workers, coaches, landscapers, our beautiful Mrs. Fleener. But we are here now. Even though we have not found X yet, we have started the quest for the solution to our lives. Each of us have had the chance to be part of Cascade's equation, and we are all important variables. I know that's cheesy, but in order to solve an equation, everything has to be written down correctly, right? If one piece is missing, it usually throws the entire answer off. That's why we couldn't be who we are without everyone, even if you feel like an insignificant square root. Ultimately, returning to all the math talk above, those things that we learned, they all simplify down to addition. That's really all it is. A plus B, addition. Quantity of A plus B squared, glorified addition. with some multiplication, which is really just addition in a sense. That's really all life is too, addition. The real thing that is important is what we add and subtract from our lives. And on a bigger scale, what we add and subtract from our community. Often life is full of negatives, and I'm not going to stand here, lie through my teeth, and say to focus on the positives. What I'm going to say is to live with the negatives, because they're part of the story of our lives too. Without the negatives, we won't have the correct solution. While we have been learning about the different ways to put physical phenomena into numbers in school, we have been learning how to figure out the equations of our lives. I really hope that you never stop solving your life's equation. I also really hope that Mr. Elbert writes his poetry book. Anyway, gracias a Dios, grazie alla prossima, 고맙습니다, 안녕히 계세요, danke, auf Wiedersehen, thank you, goodbye.
Taylor, Dave, Taylor.
What's up, guys? All right, now we've all been waiting for the presentation of the diplomas.
Jared Caden Hooper. Blake Shelton Miller. Grayson Dunlap Reeder. David Scott Connell. Garrison John Christian. Mason J. Rosenau. Moises Ricardo Leal Zepeda. Zane Alexander Carson. Jacob William Birch. Pablo Marquez Lopez. Okay, row one. You may be seated. Row two, please stand up. What's up, Blake? Okay, Miley McLean Porter. Catherine Evelyn Perry. Brody Lansing Peterson. Justice Christian Biscoff. Carson Dean William Mullen. Drake John Davis. Christiana Eileen Krager. Lane Riley Magnuson. Riley Ann Inez. Adrian Daniel Zavala.
What's up, Blake?
Row 2, please be seated. Now Mr. Macbeth will read the next names.
Row 3, please stand up and make your way to the front here. Thank you. Yeah, Noel!
If we did it that, does that work? That's probably better, I guess. I don't know, that's probably just...
Austin Dean Templin. Braden David Allen Ferguson. Joelle Jean Dickman. Patrick Daniel Nicholas Sullivan.
Love you. I love you too, Mom.
Noel Luis Vera Anglin. Daniel Eugene Rupp Jr. Gavin Riley Roberts. Sophia Joel Bush. Victoria Ann Daughter. Amy Michelle Breedlove. Row 3, thank you. You may be seated. Row 4, please rise up and make your way to the front here.
This is awkward.
Yeah, Ebony. Go if I win. Yeah, Grace.
Gracie Kluver. Jesse Ann Davidson. Salem Kenzie Haverland. Haven Adele Buswell. Jackson Gabriel Siegler. Jordy Isaiah Ramirez. Ebony Lemus Turner. Grace Ting Ting Kramer. Danielle Robin Favor. Alexandria Shea Grizel Scott. Row 4, great job. Have a seat. Row 5, you are up. Come on up here.
Go fight, win.
Jameson Good. Trisha Hutchins. Abel Shippock. And finally, we have Riker Damon Lee Davidson Kvistad.
Row 1, would you please rise? Ben Robert Roth. Nadina Sharif. Mason Jeffrey Roth. Connor Kelly Yockett. Amelia Yunhei Detweiler. Kang Tuan Ma. Corey James Kyle. Kai Tuan Ma. Lucas Vilches. Amanda Vilches. Row 1, you may be seated. Row 2, please rise. Kaylee Raylyn Fiscus. Michaela Colleen Alberg. Mackenzie May Dysinger. Alexis Rodriguez Torres. Chloe Lone Elk. Leighton James Buzzard. Tyler Howard. Kylie Lutz.
Congratulations. See you at 7.
Natalie Berquist.
Hey, great job.
Cassandra Peterson. Thank you. Row 2, you may be seated. Row 3, please rise. Vanessa May Romero. Heaven Catherine Carazal. Brianna Cheyenne Quinlan. Cynthia Jacqueline Ramirez. Danny Pelayo Uribe. Luis Alberto Perez Garibay. Eric James Michelson. Jay Drinkwater. Allison Ann Hendricks. Vanessa Bokto. Row 2, you may be seated. And I would like to welcome up Mr. David Schletty to read the next names.
Row 4, please stand. Gracie Wilkie. Calvin Christopher Klaus. Tristan Allen Bradley. William Edward Masters. Richie Gardner. Noah Wade Brown. Ryan Lewis Duff. Jace Lincoln Corcow. Brighton William Kenneth Hersey. Elijah Rhodes Newton. Row 4, you may be seated. Row 5, please stand and make your way to the stage. Cassandra K. Anguiano. Javier Francisco Anguiano. Caden Macy Deemer. Kenzie Jade Davis. Ruben Oliver Trejo Godoy. Carla Wichern. Brianna Nicole Garcia. Destiny Marie Hayes. Alexis May Bales. Chase Tayden Hughes. And Malcolm Scott Trout.
Row 1, please stand and approach the stage. Randall Simon Gaucine. Jason Ray Lefevre. Sydney Elizabeth Gamble. Angela Vargas Barajas. Chloe Marie Griffith. Rachel Ann McAllister. Joey Amelia Tyner. Mia Dream Mullen. Hunter Wymore. And Devin William Davidson. Shake a leg, Devin. There you go. Row 1, please be seated. Row 2, please rise and perambulate towards your future. Perambulate.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
I have a master's degree. I hope that means walk. Braden Thomas Bergdorf. Lucy Norma Roach. Sydney Ann Vandehei. Jacob Matthias Spoon. Obed Cervantes Cruz. Dylan Lee Wolf. Zoe Ann Goodwin. Aaliyah Leslie Sierra. Luke Jacob Stone. And Jacob Patrick Perkey. Row 2, please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce the finest art teacher in Western Oregon, Ms. Megan Torres.
Row 3, please rise and approach the stage.
stairs, man.
Julian Joshua Lopez. Edwin Hernandez. Ashley Marie Frazier. Ashton Michael Allen Williams. Caden Matthew Lindquist. Bryson Allen Lindquist. Chance Jacob Tobiasen. Isabel Marie Fisher. Jesus Chuch Franco.
What's up, brother?
Jacob Barr.
Hey, buddy. Proud of you, man.
Row 3, please be seated. And row 4, please rise and make your way to the stage. Riley Danielle Gidcombe. Brianna Ritzma. Suhey Rodriguez. Rosalia Tapia Cruz. Lily Mae Hampton. Monty Carl Cortland Smith. Shannon Elizabeth Warren. Isabella Julieta Lynn Midori. Shemaya Hope Johnson. Allison Mackenzie Mahayalani Huff. Row 4, please be seated. Row 5, please rise and make your way up to the stage. Colton Allen Lee. Alex Chavez. Grace Marie Von Ochtemal. Jaden Nicole Richards. Daniel Wyatt Moore. Brandon Edward Miyake. Jacob Kenneth Miyake. Emily Marie Peterson. Clayton Thomas Johnson. Trinity Marie Miller. Row 5, please be seated.
Hey, one more round of applause for other graduates. Let's make sure that Harrison Staten, where they're only doing a virtual graduation. All right, in closing, please help me welcome our ASB presidents, Lucy Roach and senior class president, Ashton Williams.
Hello, class of 2021.
First off, we would like to thank everyone that's spoken before us today.
We would also like to thank all of the teachers, administrators, and staff that have helped us through the years of school here at Cascade.
And of course, without all our parents and community members, we would be nowhere near where we are today.
If you didn't know already, I'm Ashton Williams, the senior class president.
And I'm Lucy Roach, the ASB president. It has truly been an honor to serve the class of 2021, and it is sad to see it coming to an end.
We cannot thank you guys enough for trusting us through the years to present each and every single one of you to embody what it means to be a Cougar.
There have been many ups and downs throughout the years, and arguably this year has been the toughest. As Randall Dawson said, it is what it is. Our senior motto may not be the most inspiring, but it is the realest representation of what our high school experience has been.
We will never be the class who won all the class competitions or ever won a lip sync, which we would have won this year and got robbed the last 3 years, to be honest. Or the class that got a senior prom or homecoming dance, or the class that got that last home football game, or even the class that, got to graduate altogether. While these letdowns may have divided some classes, it only further strengthened our class and brought us closer together. We will always be the class that still managed to laugh our way through the year, despite going through a pandemic and missing out on key moments of a traditional high school experience.
While Randall's quote may come off as uninspiring or pessimistic, to us it represents all that our class has been through and our ability to persevere and thrive together as a class. It is what it is to us means we took the unfortunate year that we've had and turned it into backyard senior sunrises, live stream football games, online spirit weeks, socially distant drive-in movies, and a homecoming week in May. It is what it is has given us the ability to not dwell on what we lost, but instead look to what we have to gain.
As we look into the faces of our peers, we see the future. And I'm telling you right now, it is pretty bright. It's pretty bright. Whether you are planning on moving across the country or staying right here in Turner, we know there are great things ahead for our class. To the students going into the military, we thank you for your future years of service. To the students going to 2 or 4-year institutions, we wish you the best of luck in continuing your education. To the students heading straight into the workforce, we are so proud of you for being brave enough to dive into the world head first. No matter what you pursue in life, it is safe to say that we all know that Cascade the community will always be there for you.
Looking back on the last 4 years, I think that we can all agree we will never find a feeling quite like pulling up to the school in the morning, being surrounded by your best friends, and walking down our small hallways without a care in the world. We never really will be this young and carefree again. For the rest of our lives, we will look back on the last 4 years and remember all the good times we had together. From all the home football games, to all the dances, spirit weeks, random inside jokes, theater, band, and choir performances, state championships, and everything in between, we all know we will never find a place surrounded by cornfields as good as this one. Despite having a school surrounded by small towns, there is no other community with a bigger heart than Cascade.
So as we end our time up here on stage, we encourage you to think of the people who made this place more than just a school, and how it truly turned into a family and an experience that we'll never forget. No matter how far you go, there will always be family here at Cascade.
Before we go, I would personally like to thank you all for the last 13 years of school. Many of you I have known since kindergarten, and I am so thankful to be able to graduate alongside some of my best and lifelong friends tonight. It feels like just last week we were being handed our Class of 2021 t-shirts on the last day of kindergarten, and thinking about how futuristic and far off that date sounded. While so much has changed in the last 4 years, I appreciate every inside joke and late night memory made with all of you. Without each and every one of you, my high school experience would not have been as amazing as it was, and I cannot thank you all enough for that. I would also like to thank all the teachers over the years that have made a lasting impact on me and went above and beyond to make school more of a home. Finally, I would like to thank my parents, all 4 of them, and my brother for supporting me in everything I have done. I would be nowhere without all of you.
And I would personally like to thank my family, first of all. Without them, I'd be nowhere near where I am today. My parents for just pushing me to be a better man every day and sacrificing so much to ensure that I had a great childhood. My sister for being my boss, but also my best friend. And my honey crunch, Ashley Frazier, for being my #1 supporter and being by my side for over 3 years. I want to thank all of my track and field teammates and coaches for truly making my team feel like a family and trusting me to embody the role of a leader and setting the tone for future years to come. Without their love and support, there's no way I would have had the heart to become a state champion this year. And lastly, I need to thank each and every single one of you guys for having such an impact on my 4 years here. Some of you I've known since preschool, and to be able to share this experience with you alongside you means literally everything to me. And I can leave this place knowing that I've given it my all and made relationships that are last a lifetime. This school has given me so much, an unpayable amount of love, support, and guidance, and most importantly, an experience that I'm going to cherish for the rest of my life.
And with that, we say thank you one last time to the school that has paved the way for all of us to go into the world and do amazing things.
And in this bittersweet moment of ending this chapter of our lives, we are opening up the next. Thank you, Class of 2021.
And you guys have to smile for your disposable, because obviously.
All right. Superintendent Drill, Cascade Board of Education. These students before you have all exceeded the requirements for a high school diploma as established by the state of Oregon. And as their principal, I recommend each of these fine graduates as 2021 high school graduates from Cascade. Class of 2021, will you please stand? Please signify your desire to accept this honor by moving your tassels from right to left. Mr. Drill, Board of Education, staff, friends, and family, I present to you the Cascade High School graduating class of 2021. Congratulations. Have a fantastic evening, everybody.